Get it out.
Surely that's it.
Get it.
Time.
Is that Darcy's first win against Arsenal?
Yeah, our first win in the Premier League era against Arsenal.
Arteta's going. Look,
yes,
that's a man who
yeah.
knows his fate.
That's a massive win, is that?
Get your comments up. I can open the comments. Daniel Omerol says he was watching Arsenal TV at the same time as us. I hope, Daniel. He says they've ended it full time. They've just turned it off. Embarrassing. Daniel Omerol says we've won. Daniel Garris says yes. Joanne Burrell says yes. Christine says yes. Laura Battani says, I bet Kieran Phillips used to eat worms at primary school. That's a bit harsh. It's a bit harsh, but he loves it, does Kieran, so I'm sure he'll give it you back. Kieran says, yes, get in. Massive 3 points. Danny Ormerod says, I didn't dare watch the last few minutes. Craig says, yes, Pauper. Brilliant. Joshua Walton says, payback. Joe Clark says, it's time to go. Joshua Walton says, finally, there is a God. Mick Thompson says, yes, get in there, the Clarets. James McNamara says, let's hope this kickstarts our season. And Dave Staunton says, love to see that from a Spurs fan. Right. Before we do the match reaction, a lot of you are giving your thoughts now on the game. So if you want to, and you want to be involved in our show, the fan reaction, then just film yourself talking about this result for 2 to 3 minutes. Send it to me via turfcastpodcast@gmail.com, or if you know me personally, just send it to me on WhatsApp. And if you can't do it on Gmail, message me on Twitter. We'll sort it. And then we'll get you into the fan reaction. But boys, it is now time to do our usual match reaction that we do at the end of every single game. Simon, I'll start with you. Arsenal 0, Burnley 1. Go.
Sorry, mate, I've just gone brilliant.
Oh,
sorry.
dear.
My phone's gone wild. Sorry, what was the question?
You dickhead. Arsenal match reaction.
Yeah, good win, mate. Fantastic win. Well, it's a huge win. It's a starting sort of block, really. I know we got the win, and then we've had that sort of staggered performances lately with Man City in the middle of it. But it's been coming, mate. We've been building. This momentum's been coming. I think even with 11 men, we were the better team against 11 men. But for me, once you said it yourself, once they went down to 10 men, it was the best opportunity you're going to have against a very poor Arsenal side, irrelevant of our position in the table. It was a position that, for me, we should win. And then look at that now. We're just showing the table. We're up to 17th. We've still got a game in hand over the ones below us.
4 points off Arsenal.
4 points off Arsenal. But once you get that, if you got another win with that game in hand, you're back amongst the mid-table sort of battles then. You know, 1 week you're in top half, next week you're in thing. You can start getting that momentum built. And that's, let's be fair, mate. Who've we got next? Villa. And then
Villa, they're doing well there at the minute.
Well, to be fair, they lost 4 and then they've just won 1, so they will have the tails up.
Yeah. Point. I didn't know that.
They won 5, lost 4, drawn 1, or something daft, and won 1. Something daft like that, anyway. So they'll be buzzing. But I think, mate, they're there for the taking as much as anybody. But let's see. Yeah, great win. Another famous victory for the Clarets away from home.
Yeah, fantastic. Johnny, your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, pretty much what Simon said. It's an absolute massive win for us, is that? I think before we started, I thought we'd get a pasting. I think even though Arsenal are down the bottom, they've still got a lot of quality. I mean, that front three, Willian, Lacazette and Aubameyang, that could cause a lot of trouble. But as soon as we started the game, I don't know, after about 5 minutes, you just thought, we're not getting beat here. We're just solid. We're pressing. We're moving the ball, and I say we haven't played like that for. I mean, it's just showing that Xhaka. That's
it's a red all day.
He's erratic. When you've got players like that in your team, you're always going to be there or there. They're never going to win a big trophy, Arsenal, with players like that in the team. But I think from us, it were brilliant. I mean, Wood's got to be putting that chance away. If he puts that,
if anything, it should have been more comfortable than what it was.
It should have been more comfortable, like you're saying. You're looking, should have been a penalty. I know the rules, whatever they are, but if you're getting booked in the box, it's a penalty. It's a fact. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. Great performance. 3 points massively needed. Takes us out the relegation zone. But Brownhill today are absolutely sensational, I thought. He's getting better and better every game. That's superb performance by Brownhill.
Yeah, just to give my thoughts on the match. I think, if anything, it should have been more comfortable. A fantastic, that were a Burnley of old performance. And I know we've been saying that recently, like, so we're slowly coming back to the Burnley of old, and it's, Burnley being Burnley, as people like to call it. But I think last few games, from Ben Mee coming back, really, that's what we've been. We've been Burnley of old. So it's good that we now, we still need to start scoring more goals. We only won that because of an own goal. We weren't going to put it in net ourselves. We had to get one of them to fucking do it. So there are still signs there that we need to improve. I did like the way that we played a bit more sort of like going forward. But to be fair, we were down to 10 minutes at that point, so there was more space. But when Vidra came on, but there were more space, and I think that's probably what Dice were thinking. He's probably thinking they're down to 10. Get someone on with a pace like Vids who can exploit them areas. But yeah, you've mentioned Brownhill, Johnny, so I'll come back to you first. Man of the match, are you going for Brownhill?
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, the first half, especially, I can't remember it where I had the shot. The ball got played back to an Arsenal player, and Brownhill sprinted about 20 yards to put the block in, and that just summed up his performance. Yeah. I thought he was absolutely fantastic today. He's good on the ball. He puts his body on the line. He's good at making a challenge. He's like an all-round midfielder. I just think he's absolutely brilliant. Like I say, he's getting better and better every game. Even when we're not playing that well, he tries to make things happen, and that's all you want for him. Get on the ball and try and move it about. And yeah, for what we paid for him, it's an absolute steal. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Simon, your man of the match?
It's an hard one this week, not because of anything other than there were that many good performances individually. Pope's up there for me because it's all right saying could have been more comfortable if we'd have put our chances away, but they had their chances as well. And Nick Pope, for me, obviously, there were saves that he didn't even have to make, some of them, and it frustrates me. But the matter of the fact is, he's there at the end to save it. Brownhill's probably edging it for me over them two, though. But yeah, it's a close one.
Yeah, fair enough. Just to say now, because it's a lot of people are saying it's a turning point. Simon, I'll come back to you this time. Do you think that is now will be all right? After watching that and getting a big 3 points against a side like Arsenal, I know they've been struggling, but they're still a big side and still got a lot of threat. But it's going to give us so much confidence in it. And I think now that I've never thought we're going to go down yet this season. But I think I'm more confident now after that we will be all right.
Yeah, I'm going back to 3 or 4 episodes ago or watch along. I can't remember if it's the podcast or not. But you asked the question, is it time to press the panic button if we don't get a result? And I said that now we've got this 11 back and we can build on momentum and keep that 11 in the squad, we will get results because we know that 11 is good enough. And this is just more proof for me that 11 is our best 11. Granted, people want to see other people coming on, but are they good as impact subs? Some players are made for that. I think it's another result. Take it on, and I think that momentum is bound to happen. And it started 3-4 games ago, irrelevant of the City game.
Johnny, what do you think? You think we're going to be all right now?
I don't want to get too carried away, even though that's a massive performance for us. I think we've still got a lot to do. But I think beginning of the season, I said we're just going to be lucky that there's 3 teams that are going to be worse than us. And after seeing the likes of Sheffield United and West Brom, they're absolutely terrible. So
you're getting me credit card out. We're going Europe, lad.
It's a massive. We're a bit like the Palace when we beat Palace, and everyone's like, "Get in." Then we moved on to Everton. It was just like, we just didn't seem to kick on. But what's that? Our first win against Arsenal in the Prem. You've got to take a lot out of that. And I think to keep churning results out like that when we haven't started well is credit to Dash. To be fair, I think it is. He hasn't got a lot of credit, to be honest, from the beginning of the season, and obviously there's been a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. But I think now you're starting to see that it's starting to settle down now behind the scenes, and the team's starting to settle down. Everyone's just starting to relax a little bit. There don't seem that much pressure.
Yeah,
and that performance summed it up. Like the take, that's like that seems to have stabilised now. We know what's happening. There's nothing up in the air anymore, and everyone just seems to have calmed down. And that performance, like I say, we're just calm from start to finish. I didn't even think. I know you two. I know you especially, Joe, were panicking a little bit, but I thought we're comfortable throughout that game, and that's away at Arsenal. I know they were down to 10, but they've still got players of plenty of quality on that pitch. But I just felt comfortable throughout. Every ball that come in the box we dealt with from a set piece, and we resulted them to long-range efforts. And for Burnley to go away and do that, like I say, that's fantastic, and I think Dash and everyone deserves a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I do feel we were comfortable. It's just the way I am. I just get nervous when we're watching 1-0 and stuff. But I thought we were quite comfortable, like you say, restricting them to 1-0 shots and stuff. But unless there's anything you two would like to add, I think we'll wrap it up.
No, I'm good, mate. Just listening to Westie's interview now. Said it's been coming. We've been robbed a couple of times, and I presume he's been on about Arsenal games. He says, but I think he means the momentum in general. It's been coming. So yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
fair enough. Well, that's it then for this week's watch along. We might be back on Thursday. We'll discuss it off air. But the podcast will be out again this week. I might even do it a little bit earlier this week with the game being on Thursday. I'll need to discuss that. And again, it depends when I'm at work and stuff as well. So we'll see. But thanks everybody for watching the watch along. I will get the match reaction up as soon as we can. And please send your fan reactions in if you are able to do so. Cheers, and we will see you next time.